Okay, this is take two. You can see that I actually have said to Claude, well done, can we do take two? I made a stupid mistake. So Claude is saying, fine, ready for take two, reset G5 and H5. So let me give you the context here. We simply have a list here of requisitions, the dates, the element codes, which of course refers to my element dimension table, the quantity, the grade, and what I want to work out is the lift class. So if the calculation on the elements, there's the elements, right, there's the weight multiplied by the quantity, comes to greater than a certain amount, I think 500 or so, then put the amount there. But if it comes to less, then say too low. Now the point of this lesson is to show you that using if and XLOOKUP is doable but long. It's better to use let. Okay, so let's go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy my previous instruction. Okay, good. There we go. All right, so there was my instruction. Let's put it there. I'm going to read it out to you before I execute. All right, so there we go. Hello, Claude. Could you please add into G5 an if statement? See, it's quite clever. It actually works out your errors because I dictated. That looks at the element code and associated weight, multiplies it by a quantity. And it must also say that if it's above 500, it must be entered, but below 500, it must say too low. So let's go and see it develop the if statement with XLOOKUP. And it's done it. Let's go through that. Okay, thanks, Claude. All right, so let's go. If XLOOKUP D5 elements A2, A13. So remember, it's looking at elements A2, A13. All right, so it's looking that up and it's rendering element C2, C13, which is the weight, multiplied by E5, which is of course my quantity over there. If it's greater than 500, then I've got to repeat that. Then it must put the amount in, which it did. All right, well, it actually didn't. It said too low. But it would have put the amount in if it was less than 500, okay? I mean, above 500, should I say. Okay, right, so there's the long statement. Otherwise, render too low, which is exactly what it did, because it came up with a value less than 500. Okay, fair enough. But now the point is to use the let command and to ask Claude in Excel to render that let command. So if you don't have Claude, you can just look at the way I constructed this, and I'm quite happy to put this in the description for you. But let's have a look at let. Okay, so I'm going to just repeat myself here. Thank you, Claude, that worked. Now I want you to do is to use a let function in H5, okay, to do exactly the same thing, thus showing how much better the let function is. All right, so let's put that there and let's see what Claude does for us. It's going to put that let function in, and the let function will be a lot shorter. Notice the answers are identical. Let's have a look. It actually explains it there, but let's go through it together. Let, and then we specify a variable. We can call it whatever we want, lift weight. Then it says, it repeats what we did earlier. Lookup D5 elements A2, A13, elements C2, C13, multiply by E5 if. Now we just have to, we don't have to repeat that XLOOKUP. Now we just have to say if lift weight, okay, too low, all right, is greater than 500, lift weight, otherwise too low. It's much better to use let. And that's where that function now actually works.